Welcome to this General Ledger training video. The objectives of this video are to instruct you to know the main parts of the user interface, change your accounting period using the Preferences form, use the Inquiry screen to view current month activity and year-to-date activity, enter a journal entry batch, edit and add new account number. Notice some screens in this training video are smaller than the actual size. Portions of the actual screen are cropped to fit inside this demonstration window. We apologize for this inconvenience. Let's get started right now. The first thing we're going to do is set the current period in GL and then use Inquiry View to see the amount of RA project receipts for the current month and year-to-date. Accounting periods are in the format month, year, like 01-2007 would be January 2007. MultiSite allows you to work in the system period or a session period. The system period is the default period that all users have when they log on to the GL module. Usually the system period is not the same period as a tenants module. The session period may be changed for viewing, working in a different period than the system period. Next time you log in, your period will revert back to the system period. All screen results in this GL module will be of the accounting period set in your preferences. You may change your session period in the preferences form. The next demonstration will show you how to change your session period, and we hope that all of this that I've just said will become more clear. First, let's find the current period. Do you remember the status bar? I believe it's found in the status bar, right? Yes, it is found in the status bar, and the current period is 03-2009. I would like to show you how to change your current period so I can view RA receipts in the period 04-2008 without running a report. The current period is maintained in the Preferences form. Click on the menu item Tools, Preferences. At the top of this form, see the two fields, Session Current Period and GL System Current Period. Notice that the Session Current Period is in a text box and you can edit that entry, and that the GL System Current Period does not appear that it can be edited. The GL System Current Period can only be edited by one or a few persons in a company. The keepers of the system accounting periods have been given the right and the responsibility of keeping the different modules in the correct accounting period. I'm going to help you change the session period from 03-2009 to 04-2008. The session period will remain 04-2008 until I change it in the Preferences form or until I log off MultiSite. The session period only affects me for this log-on session. This change will not affect anyone else in the company. I am ready to save and will click the button Save Settings and then close after I change the period. When I return to the main screen, I am now in the default 04-2008 accounting period. But look at the period in the status bar. It still says the same. While I'm still actually in that period until I do an action, I'm going to refresh the display of the current period. I'm going to click on the action icon, Inquiry. Notice that the period has now been updated. I want to see the current month income for rental assistance. I'll click on the Tree View Property Bicycle Apartments, and then the main grid is updated. Notice the screen updated the panel and the status bar. The activity column is the current month activity for 04-2008, And the year-to-date activity column is the year-to-date activity for 01/2/2008 through 04/2008, or January through March 2008. Now I can drill down and see more detail in each one of these two columns. If I double-click in the activity column, I will see the detail behind this total. This detail of the RA amount activity is made up of these 4 transactions. And if I double-click on the year-to-date activity, I will see the activity that makes up the summary on the main grid. And these are the records that make up the year-to-date for the RA project receipt. Next, we're going to learn how to view and enter a journal entry. If you do not know what a journal entry is, then you should not make any journal entries until you have training in accounting or have been given a sheet to data entry from an accountant. To begin, click on the icon Batch over to the left. Read the panel display. Posted batches for multifamily, current period only. You can change back and forth between posted and unposted batches using the View menu item. Notice that the posted batches item is checked and the unposted batches item is unchecked. If you wanted to change to unposted, just check unposted, or you can just leave it alone. The main grid displays all the batch header records for the current period. To edit a batch, double-click on the batch that you want to view, or use the Find Batch icon if you know the batch number. I'm going to edit the Post Auditor Entries batch right here. The batch journal entry screen opens. Look at the sidebar. The only icons that are showed are for posted batch like this one. The choices are Copy Batch, Reverse Batch, and Close Batch. The form header fields above the main grid have the batch type, site number. Now this is not a complex code. The GL module uses site numbers instead of complex codes. The calendar period defaults to the current calendar period, 04/2008, and the fiscal period. This auto-fills according to the fiscal year end of the property. A reference number, usually not used, but you can put anything you want to in there. Description. This is a description of the basic batch, and it also defaults in each line item as you create new line items in the grid below. And finally, batch ID. Let's close this form and add a new batch. Bulletin, I have just received a journal entry to post, and just in time for this class too. All right, how do we do that? We go over to the Actions sidebar and we click New Batch. Now the Add a New Batch header form opens. The first thing I'm going to do is enter in the site number, which according to this piece of paper that they gave me was site number 328. I tab off of it, and it fills in the name of the apartment, the batch. The calendar period, 04/2008, I'm going to leave it alone. It says I'm out of 6-month date range. You want to continue using the date 04/2008. I'm going to say yes. The description, I'm going to enter in here reclass refunds for overpaid premiums. They told me to type in account number 1240, which I happen to know is 1240 prepaid insurance. They said to debit 2734. I just press tab. The next one they want me to enter in is 6720, which is property and liability casualty insurance. I'm going to let the default description fill in, and I'm going to credit 2734. Now we should be in balance. I can press F9 or I can click the totals button, and yes, I am in balance. Now the sidebar over to the left, the actions, save batch, cancel batch, and import batch are different icons than when we were editing. Now we are making a new one, so I'm going to press the save batch. Batch is saved, and it prints out. The form remains open, so I can enter another one. I'm just going to close. We're back to the main screen where we are still in posted batches, and we notice that our batch is not there, and that's because I did not post that batch. So I wanted to demonstrate. I'm going to go to View, Unposted Batches, and then click the batch icon, and voila, there's our reclass refunds batch that we just made. Congratulations, we've just entered our very first batch. Next, we're going to work with the chart of accounts. We're going to edit an account number, and then I'm going to show you how to add an account number. The chart of accounts is a view, so I'm going to click on Chart of Accounts. First, the form opens up where I can change the template. However, I'm going to leave it as multifamily. The multifamily chart of accounts open up, showing only active accounts. See how the panel says multifamily active accounts. First, I'm going to show you how to edit an account. Now, first I must warn you that you should not be editing or renaming any accounts at all without your head of accounting allowing you to do this. It is such a bad deal. I can't tell you how bad it is to go in and start changing names and numbers without knowing what you're doing. Well, I'm going to show you how to do this just so you'll know how. Now, I'm going to click on Bay National CD. Now the Edit Account form opened up. This is for the Bay National CD. I'm going to edit this, so I'm going to press the Edit button so I can change something. And I'm going to change the account subtype. Now notice over to the right here it says double click on the field to browse current entries. I'm going to double click on this field, and I'm going to change it actually back to cash because I really don't want to change this. Now the only thing left to do is update. I press the update field, and now we're ready to do another one. Now next, I'm going to add an account. So it would be nice if I want to copy account. So I'm going to copy an account, and it says enter the new account number you wish to copy. I'm going to say 1103. I'm going to press OK. It says this account has been copied to 1103 new. You will want to edit this number. I'm going to say OK. Now here's the number that they're talking about. 1103 new. I'm going to call this, I'm going to type right over it, 1103B. Everything else, since I copied it, is the same down here. National CD, I'm going to change this to interest. Now the closeout account is going to be 1103B. If I wanted to make it a budget account, I would click that, or the alternate account number, balance sheet subtype, etc. I'm going to update, and then I'm going to close A, and here is this new one that I just added, 1103B.